So, you're wondering if it's good when inflation is high. Well, let's dive into it. Inflation is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. This is measured as an annual percentage increase in the Consumer Price Index or CPI, which is a basket of common goods and services. For example, if the CPI increases by 10% over a year, that means that on average the prices of all the goods and services in the basket have gone up by 10%. Now, high inflation can stimulate economic growth by encouraging people to spend and invest their money sooner rather than later. This is because people expect prices to rise in the future, so they're more likely to buy now rather than later. This can lead to increased demand for goods and services, which can boost economic growth. High inflation can also help to reduce debt. When interest rates are low, borrowing money becomes cheaper, and people are more likely to take out loans to finance big-ticket items like houses or cars. With high inflation, the value of the money borrowed decreases over time, making it easier to pay off the debt. This can be particularly beneficial for people who have taken out mortgages or other long-term loans. On the other hand, high inflation can erode the purchasing power of consumers. When prices rise rapidly, the value of money decreases, and people can buy fewer goods and services with the same amount of money. This can be particularly challenging for people living on fixed incomes such as retirees, who may struggle to keep up with the rising costs of living. High inflation can also lead to uncertainty and volatility in financial markets. When people expect prices to rise rapidly, they may be more likely to invest in assets that they think will appreciate in value, such as stocks or real estate. This can lead to asset bubbles and market volatility, which can be detrimental to the economy. Additionally, high inflation can lead to reduced savings rates. When people expect prices to rise rapidly, they may be less likely to save money, as they may not see the value in doing so. This can lead to a decrease in the overall savings rate, which can have long-term negative effects on the economy. It's also worth noting that high inflation can have different effects on different groups of people. For example, high inflation can be beneficial for borrowers as it reduces the burden of debt, but it can be detrimental to savers as it erodes the purchasing power of their savings. In reality, a moderate level of inflation is often considered healthy for the economy, as it can stimulate growth and encourage spending. However, high inflation can have negative consequences if it gets out of control. Central banks and governments often aim to keep inflation within a target range, usually around 2 to 3% annual rate, to balance the positive effects of inflation with the potential drawbacks. Ultimately, whether high inflation is good or bad depends on the context. If inflation is high due to strong economic growth and rising demand for goods and services, it may be a sign of a healthy economy. However, if inflation is high due to supply chain disruptions, global events, or other external factors, it may be a sign of economic instability.